Welcome to all. A poor man lived in a small village. He was good in character and devotion to God, but his wife was a bully. The poor man's life was very difficult. He would finish his daily work quickly. He spent the rest of his time worshiping God and meditating. But even if he worshipped God, his difficulties didn't subside. Every day he faced new problems. Mentally he was very upset.
In the same town, there was a rich man of evil character. He did evil deeds and lived happily. He had an excellent wife of good character and piety. But he did not believe in God. That poor man and this wicked rich man are friends. This bad, rich man often insulted God and the poor. One day, there was a fight between the two, and an argument escalated. The poor man became very angry. So, the poor cursed the rich. In a week, you will be punished for all your mistakes. The rich man laughed without fear of the curse and challenged the poor. If that doesn't happen, then you have to give up spirituality. The poor man also agreed to that. He prayed fervently to God. The last day of the competition arrived. That day, the rich man went into the forest and enjoyed hunting more birds and animals. On his way home, he slept for a while under a tree. The rich man suddenly rolled over and fell into a small pit nearby. The pit contained a treasure of gold and diamonds. He took it with boundless joy and came home. The rich man with a bad character became richer and richer. At the same time, the poor man was working in the field. The cow attacked him, and he was bedridden with serious injuries. His wife abandoned him and left with the bank manager. Why are there so many trials for good people, Lord? I can't stand it any longer. The poor man decided to commit suicide. He came near the well behind the house. Lord, I trusted you and challenged that rich man. But you have made me lose to him. Lord, I had a great devotion to you. But, Lord, you didn't help me. Even if I am alive now, it is equal to a corpse. Death is better than this life. I am coming to you, accept me. The poor man jumped into the well. Within seconds of him jumping into the well, he felt as if someone was lifting him. God saved him. He was in pain, both physically and mentally. He did not want to worship God. He began to fight with God. He poured out his anguish and anger. God patiently listened to everything and embraced him with himself. He was somewhat comforted by the God's warmth. After a long silence, the Lord began to speak. Son, you were born a good man in this life. But in your previous life, you were more cruel than that rich man. You have never respected your wife in your previous life. But the rich man was doing good things in his previous life. He did his best to help the orphans. He did charity and collected merit. So he got all the benefits of this life. You had to suffer the sins of your previous life. You worshipped me every day. I have accepted most of the sins that you have to suffer. You are now suffering a small part of your sins as punishment. Everyone who is born as a human begins to suffer the punishment of their original sins. But a person of bad character will first enjoy the fruits of the virtues he has demonstrated in his previous life. After that, he will be punished for his sins. The treasure that the rich man received was the result of his last virtue. All the virtues he had done worked as a whole and became a treasure for him. And it is the last one. He has enjoyed all the fruits of his merits in his previous life. Henceforth, the rich man will be punished for the sins he committed in his previous life. All your sins are over because of the hardships that you poor have suffered. You will see with your own eyes what is going to happen next. Having said that, the Lord slowly disappeared. The poor man looked at God with tears in his eyes. As the days went by, the poor man's health became better. A rich widow in the village married the poor man. The poor became rich. The poor man was very happy with the growth in the business and the subsequent progress. At the same time, the bad character rich man was struck by a strange disease and became bedridden. His wife also died suddenly. His relatives cheated on him. They took away all his property and drove him out. After that, the rich man of bad character suffered all his life. What are many people saying here? The bad guys get everything. But good people don't get anything. That's the argument of many. But you have to think well. Money will come today, but it will go away tomorrow. You should always live in peace and contentment. For that, you have to live in a way that is good and helpful to everyone. You can become a superior person as God praises you.
Thank you so much.